Is that one of the questions? I don't remember that. That's a hard one. That's an actually hard one. Say something. Yeah, exactly.
Hi, I'm Natasha. I'm a proud Mwalgal, Yidinji, Kalali and Dunghutti descendant. I'm also a PhD candidate in the Faculty of Medicine and a Poche Scholar at the UQ Poche Centre for Indigenous Health.
Hi, I'm Shea. I'm a Gungaloo man, former Poche Scholar and now postdoctoral research fellow at the UQ Poche Centre for Indigenous Health.
Oh, looks like I got the first question. What's the biggest challenge you have overcome while doing a PhD?
I think as an Aboriginal researcher who was really committed to doing research with people from my own community, understanding the policies and procedures and practices within a research sector that govern the roles of a researcher, which obviously sit alongside my role as an Aboriginal man working with my own community, and understanding how I can navigate that best and most appropriately and ethically. What is your favourite thing about living in Brisbane?
My favourite thing about living in Brisbane is obviously the weather. Love it here. I suppose for me, not only the weather, it's also networking with community and mob. My field is in health, and being able to network with folk in the community, not only here in Brisbane but also elsewhere, has been phenomenal and been quite helpful in the journey in the PhD. What advice would you give someone who was thinking about doing a PhD?
That's a tricky one. There's plenty of advice to give. I think the main thing is that you've got to be really passionate about any research you propose to do and undertake, and I think a lot of people can't underestimate the amount of effort that it takes to actually do a PhD. A PhD, in many ways, it's your apprenticeship in the research sector, and there's particular challenges obviously when you're working as an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander researcher within your own community as well, and those are things that you have to be very considerate of, regardless of whether or not you're working in an Indigenous space or a mainstream space. And sometimes that means that you've actually got to educate people around you as to your roles and responsibilities within your own community. And I think any Indigenous researcher, entering into this space has to be very conscious of that.